People laughed the moment the skinny farm boy stepped toward the rusted tractor. The dealer had already folded his arms and declared it finished. "She's done," he said. "Engine's locked. Transmission's gone. It'll cost more to fix than it's worth." 3 mechanics had already walked away. The old tractor sat silent in the middle of the auction yard like a forgotten piece of history. The boy said nothing. He simply adjusted the faded cap on his head, opened a worn toolbox, and knelt beside the machine. 15 minutes later, the engine roared to life. The laughter disappeared, but the loudest silence came from the dealer. He wasn't looking at the tractor anymore. He was staring at the cap. His face turned pale. He whispered only 4 words. "I know that cap." If stories about hard work, second chances, and hidden legacies inspire you, subscribe now, because the ending of this one is something you'll never forget. The town of Ash Creek had seen hard seasons before, but never one quite like this. Fields that once stretched green beneath the summer sun had turned dull after months of drought. Families who had farmed the land for generations were selling equipment just to keep their homes. Among them was 16-year-old Eli Carter. Since his father's disappearance 8 years earlier, Eli had worked beside his mother every day before school and every evening after it. Their little farm survived only because they refused to quit. Their biggest problem sat inside a weathered barn, an old tractor that hadn't moved in nearly 3 years. Without it, planting enough crops to save the farm seemed impossible. His mother often caught Eli staring at it. "You miss him," she would quietly say. Eli would simply nod. The only thing he had left of his father was the faded navy blue cap he wore every single day. Nobody in town knew why he never took it off, and nobody dared ask. Then something unbelievable happened. Word spread that Harrison Equipment, the largest tractor dealership in 3 counties, was holding an auction. Among the machines was a battered vintage tractor that everyone believed belonged in a scrapyard. The dealership owner, Robert Harrison, had placed it there mostly for parts. "It won't ever run again," he announced to the crowd. Most people believed him. After all, Harrison had spent 40 years repairing farm equipment. If he said the tractor was finished, it probably was. But Eli kept staring at the engine. Something didn't make sense. He asked if he could look closer. The crowd laughed. "Kid," one farmer chuckled. "Men with 30 years' experience couldn't fix that thing." Another shook his head. "You'll just get yourself covered in grease." Even Harrison smiled politely. "You can look," he said, "but don't get your hopes up." What happened next surprised everyone. Eli removed the side panel and didn't reach for the biggest wrench. Instead, he listened. He slowly turned the crank by hand. He touched the fuel line. He smelled the diesel. Then he closed his eyes. It looked strange, almost like he was listening to the tractor breathe. The crowd exchanged confused glances. "What is he doing?" But Eli ignored every whisper. He loosened one bolt, cleaned a clogged fuel fitting, adjusted the timing linkage, tapped the starter housing twice with the wooden handle of a hammer. Then he smiled. "There it is," he whispered. Nobody knew what he meant. The dealer checked his watch. 5 minutes had passed. The laughter returned, until Eli removed a tiny rusted spring from his pocket. Where had it come from? Nobody had seen him pick it up. He installed it carefully, tightened everything, climbed into the seat. The dealer folded his arms. "This won't end well." Eli pulled the choke, turned the key. Nothing. A few people smirked. Someone muttered, "Told you." But Eli didn't panic. He climbed back down, adjusted one final screw no larger than a thumbnail, looked at the sky, counted softly under his breath, then climbed back up. The second turn of the key changed everything. The engine coughed. Once. Twice. Then exploded to life with a deep roar that echoed across the auction yard. Black smoke rolled into the air before clearing into a smooth, steady rhythm. Birds scattered from nearby trees. Farmers who had been laughing seconds earlier stood frozen. One man removed his hat. Another quietly whispered, "Impossible." The timer on the dealer's phone read exactly 15 minutes. People rushed forward to look under the hood. Some searched for hidden replacement parts. Others wondered whether the tractor had been secretly repaired beforehand. But nothing explained what they had just witnessed. Everyone celebrated, except Harrison. He never looked at the engine. His eyes stayed locked on Eli, on the faded cap. His expression slowly changed from disbelief to recognition. He stepped closer. "Son," his voice trembled. "Where did you get that cap?" The crowd instantly fell silent again. Eli answered honestly, "It belonged to my father." Harrison's breathing stopped for a moment. What was his name? Daniel Carter. The old dealer closed his eyes. For several seconds he couldn't speak. Nobody understood why. Then he reached into his office and returned carrying an old photograph covered in dust. He handed it to Eli. The boy stared at the picture. There stood two young mechanics covered in grease, smiling beside the very same tractor decades earlier. One of them was Harrison. The other was Eli's father. The crowd gasped. Harrison smiled through tears. "Your father wasn't just a mechanic. He was the finest machine diagnostician I've ever known. He never guessed. He listened. Every engine had a voice to him." Suddenly, everyone remembered how Eli had placed his hand on the tractor before touching a single tool. He hadn't copied a repair. He had learned his father's way. But why did he disappear? Eli quietly asked. Harrison looked toward the fields. Years earlier, Daniel had refused to sell dishonest repairs to struggling farmers. He believed families deserved fair prices, even if it meant earning less. When the dealership changed ownership, he walked away rather than betray the people he served. Before leaving town to search for work elsewhere, he visited Harrison one last time. He left behind only one request. "If my son ever comes here wearing this cap," Daniel had said, "don't help him because he's my son. Help him only if he earns it." Harrison swallowed hard. "I've been waiting 8 years." Tears filled Eli's eyes. "So, he believed I'd make it?" "He never doubted you." The old dealer disappeared into the workshop again. When he returned, he carried a small metal box. Inside lay dozens of carefully preserved notebooks. Every page contained Daniel Carter's handwritten repair methods, sketches, and lessons gathered over a lifetime. "I promised I'd keep these safe," Harrison said. "They belong to you now." Eli carefully held the notebooks as though they were priceless, because to him, they were. Months later, something remarkable happened. Using his father's notes and his own talent, Eli repaired tractors that others had given up on. Farmers who once couldn't afford expensive replacements brought their machines to him instead. His family's farm recovered. Neighbors found work again. The little repair shed beside the old barn slowly became the busiest shop in the county. Above its entrance hung the same faded cap inside a glass frame, not as a reminder of loss, but as proof that honesty, skill, and kindness can outlive the people who first carried them. Years later, visitors often asked why an old cap was displayed above the door. Eli would simply smile and say, "Some people leave money behind. My father left me a way to help others." And that turned out to be worth far more than any tractor ever could.